On today's episode, we're going to talk about the differences in storytelling. I love me a good yarn, and I couldn't help but notice the difference between the US and Germany, and I thought, well, let's continue this series by talking about regional films. Hello, Lieblings. I'm Mari, science fiction and fantasy author who's been living in southern Germany since 2014. So this is part 2 of my series comparing German and American storytelling through the medium of film and television. Today, we're going to focus on regional films. The way I am classifying this is a film where the location is just as much a character as the actual characters. I was inspired to bring up this particular genre because I had recently gone to see the movie Weißbier im Blut with one of my friends. This film is a Bavarian comedy, murder mystery, which is in the similar vein as the even more popular Eberhofer films that take place in Bavaria, where the script is also in the Bavarian dialect. Literally everything has a sheen of blue and white. Get it? Because it's the color of the Bavarian flag. Anyway. How's you like my hat? That would be very fitting. Very regional, huh? Kind of, sort of. Anyway, I had asked some of my German friends if other regions in Germany do something similar, and of course they said yes. There are other regional shows in other parts of Germany, and ironically they're all crime-based shows. Anyway, when I first tried watching any of these Bavarian films, it was actually my first Eberhofer film, or actually I think it was a Bully Herbig film. I have to admit that I desperately needed subtitles. High German is hard enough, but Bavarian is a horse of a different color, especially because I live in Baden-Württemberg and we speak a different dialect over here. So I don't get that much exposure to Bavarian as often as I would with Hohenlohe. But now I can understand it a lot better. I don't need subtitles as much as before, but I'm still not at 100%. I mean, hell, there are even native Germans who have a hard time understanding Bavarian. Not every German can understand each other's dialects. They're just that colorful. Now the question is, do we have something like that in the States? The short answer is no, but the longer answer is, well. So I thought the best way to classify a regional film is first by dialect and also how much of the culture of that specific region is present. Take the Eberhofer films. They're in Bavarian.
Wenn ich mich recht erinnere, bist du auch schon mal in der Telefonzelle reingerauscht.
Da war ich vielleicht ein Stück besoffen.
Ich wollte von Anfang an am Polo.
Wenn ich noch einmal dieses Wort höre, dann vergiss ich mich.
Vater, wieso sagt denn mir da keiner was davon, dass sie mir da so eine bourgeoise Scheißhütten da mitten auf meine Wiesen einsteigen?
They show aspects of Bavarian culture. Also, music plays a big role in the soundtrack. The best way to describe it is while it's a story that can't be consumed by everyone, those of you from that region understand those smaller Easter eggs that are peppered in. So back to the States. The closest film I can come up with is Fargo by the Coen brothers. It's fitting also because it is a black comedy crime film that plays up the fact that not only does it take place in Fargo, Minnesota, but everyone speaks in that glorious Minnesotan accent and does it all with the typical Minnesotan mannerisms. Let's compare it to my list. Accent and dialect.
Yeah. Hey, they said they were going to the Twin Cities.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, is that useful to you?
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.
Check. Culture and mannerisms.
Righto. Well, so I'm tending bar down there at Eklund and Swedlin's last Tuesday. This little guy's drinking, and he says, so where can a guy find some action? I'm going crazy out there at the lake. And I says, what kind of action? And he says, woman action. What do I look like? And I says, well, what do I look like? I don't arrange that kind of thing.
Check. Music. Okay, harder than I thought. In the same vein, there's also Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Also by the Coen brothers. My husband is a big fan of this movie, and it was really fun to watch it with him. while he experienced it in English for the first time. He had always seen it in German before, but when he had actually heard the actual accents, it kind of just added that much more flavor to the film. It's brilliant. And in all honesty, though, it is a film that should be experienced in English, but that's my opinion. So let's get back to that list. Accent and dialect.
Today is the 17th.
Don't I know it?
We got but 4 days to get to that treasure. After that, it'll be at the bottom of a lake.
Check. Mannerisms and culture.
That's right, and now Mama's got a new beau. He's a suitor.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Mama says that he's bona fide.
You give her a ring?
Yes, sir. Big and got it, Jim. Mama checked it. It's bona fide. He's a suitor. Uncle Vernon. Till tomorrow. Then he's gonna be daddy.
I am the only daddy you got. I am the damn paterfamilias.
But you ain't bona fide.
Check. Music.
I am the man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble.
Hot damn! This is Sacramento boy!
Oh, hell yes. Check. The other films that I can think of that may or may not fall into this category are the works of Kevin Smith. If you are not aware of who Kevin Smith is, he is a filmmaker from New Jersey, and you know this because New Jersey is as much of a character as his other characters. However, accent dialect.
You know that article's accurate? Caitlin really is getting married.
You know what I just watched?
Me pulling a can off some moron's fist?
Return of the Jedi.
Didn't you hear me? Caitlin is really getting married.
What did you like better, Jedi or The Empire Strikes Back?
Empire.
Blasphemy.
Culture and mannerisms.
Spot a long face, Horace. Back you on the rag.
I'm just having a little girl trouble.
Bitch pressing charges. I get that a lot.
Music.
$15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. If that money doesn't show, then you owe me, oh. My jungle love, yeah. Oh, I think I wanna know ya, yeah, what?
Well, I mean, there was a band in there that's from New Jersey, so I guess, I don't know. To be honest, guys, I am not as versed with this whole New Jersey ways in order to catch the possible smaller homages. But for you Kevin Smith aficionados, what do you think? Next, we have Mud. Mud is a 2012 American coming-of-age drama film written and directed by Jeff Nichols. The story takes place and was filmed in Arkansas, Nichols' home state.
You got crosses in your heels.
Nails, shaped like crosses.
What for?
Ward off evil spirits.
Hillbilly Elegy. This film is based on the 2016 memoir by J.D. Vance about the Appalachian values of his Kentucky family and their relations to the social problems of his hometown of Middleton, Ohio, where his mother's parents moved when they were young.
Oh, I thought your mama was going to be all right. Be happy. I know I could have done better.
I hesitate putting this one on the list because the critical response was not good. But it is supposed to be a story about a specific area of the US that otherwise doesn't get exposure because Hollywood. Pegasus Pictures. So this is sort of a shameless plug. I went to college with the guys who founded Pegasus Pictures, which is a production company based in Indiana. They want to bring filming to Indiana in the same way that a lot of films and TV shows today are currently filming in Georgia. They want to work with legislature to give tax incentives in order to bring other productions to the Hoosier State. They have produced a few great movies, and my favorite of theirs is The Good Catholic. It's a rather personal story written by fellow Hoosier and IU alum Paul Schulberg, and it was filmed in Bloomington. I highly recommend it.
Come on.
What, Father?
Even the Franciscans have some rules about this.
Let me check, Father. And cometh game day, 'tis okay to go forth in the colors of thine chosen team, unless thine chosen team is the Purdue Boilermakers or the Kentucky Wildcats. God is good.
And last on this list, I have to definitely add Breaking Away, which did win an Oscar for Best Screenplay, and the guy who wrote it was, I cannot remember, he's European, but he had studied abroad at IU and experienced the life of being at Indiana University and wrote about his experiences through Breaking the Way, specifically about the Little 500 bicycle race that is pretty much the holy week to any IU grad and student. So
you know, I used to think I was a really great quarterback in high school. Still think so, too. Can't even bring myself to light a cigarette because I keep thinking I gotta stay in shape.
Yeah, I think that one, that also that's definitely on the list there, and highly recommend it if you can watch it. But in all honesty, trying to find American equivalents was a lot harder than I thought. And it's not that they're not out there, but they're the smaller indie films that just don't get the same outreach compared to what's cranked out by the Hollywood machine. I know while living in Germany, only a portion of American films that are produced even make it out here at all. And I also know that even while in the States, only a small number of theaters even show those indie films to begin with, because they're usually, showing the big Hollywood stuff. So, like I said, the short answer is the US doesn't really have much of a genre, especially compared to Germany. But there are a few, or more even. This is, like I said, it's hard to find, but you have to be willing to search for it. So what do you think? What are your thoughts on regional films? What's your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up. Please leave me a comment, or if you have any questions, or if there's a certain topic you'd like to see on this channel. If you want fun escapism, my space fantasy, The God Queen, and its sequel, The Last Imperator, are available in ebook, paperback, and hardback. I have all the links in the description below. If you sign up for my newsletter, you'll get a free short story, as well as some behind-the-scenes goodies. And don't forget to connect with me on social media, whether it is through Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. And that's it. Until next time, adi!